Greetings, dear students. I am Ankita Krishan, Assistant Professor from Department of Psychology, Kristu Jayanti College. Today we are going to learn about Piaget's cognitive theory, which is one of the most famous theories in the history of psychology. Let's see how this theory goes. Piaget theory. Let's look into the person who has developed this tremendous theory. Jean Piaget gave this theory in the year 1936. He conducted a research within his 3 children and then he learned about how the intellectual development among kids takes place. Alright, Piaget theory, it is called as the stage theory. Now why stage theory? It's because those theories that proposes that all human beings have to move through an orderly or predictable series of changes are considered to be a stage theory. Most of the time, these stage theories will have 3 major criteria. One is that every person will go through a proper series of stages. Second is those series of stages will take place into a particular set of age. And the third criteria is that those changes are irreversible. The central assumption of Piaget's theory was that it is based on constructivism. They believe that children are active thinkers who are constantly trying to construct more accurate or advanced understanding of the world around them. They believe that children are the one who create the meaning of the world around them. So now the question is, how do these children create a meaning of the world around them? So it's according to Piaget, they've said that 2 basic processes help children to create this understanding of the world. One is assimilation, which involves incorporation of new informations or knowledges into existing knowledge structures, which is known as schemas. Schemas are nothing but cognitive scaffold which organizes and holds a set of informations. The other basic information that helps children understand this world into a more accurate manner is what we call as accommodation. Accommodation is nothing but it involves modification of existing structures or modifications of existing informations in the schemas. This results as an exposure to new information or experiences. The more the child starts experiencing new things into the world, based on those experiences, they start modifying whatever existing schemas that they have, and that is what we call as accommodation. Now let us check this example. Here, the schema is the boy has learned that there is an animal which is cat. Okay, he can see the features of the cat. There is a tail. There are 4 legs, 2 eyes. Whatever physical features that he is able to see it in the cat, he is now creating a schema that it is a cat. Now the next time when he sees a cub which is also as similar to that of a cat, he is now calling the cub also as a cat. Alright, so he is adding that particular information which is assimilation. A new information is added. Now the moment when his sister says that this is not a cub, this is not a cat but this is a cub, then the child is going to modify the information and fix it in his head that even a cub which looks like a cat is also an animal. So what he is doing here is he is modifying his information like from a cat to cub, and now he is adding both cub and cat as in a schema of animals. These are the 2 major processes. Now let us look into the various stages that takes place in this theory. The first one is sensory motor stage. This takes place from birth to 18 or 24 months. This is the time when the child learns the cause and effect. That is, they understand that whatever they are going to do is going to have an external reaction. If they are going to lift their hand, it's going to cause something. If they're going to lift their legs, it is going to cause something. Now they are basically understanding that whatever they do also has a meaning or it also has a reaction. If there is a relation between something. So that is what we say. They start understanding this concept of cause and effect. Next, out of sight is truly out of mind. Young children, specifically in this stage, they learn this world through senses. They see, they learn whatever they touch, they are able to see through their senses. But then if there is a child who is just of 4 months, and then you are showing a chocolate and then you're hiding it back, he will not think that the chocolate still exists. So why? Because they are not able to create mental images. So anything which is not in front of him, he will not assume it to exist, and he will believe that, okay, whatever is out of their sight is truly not existing in this world. It is only after the age of 4 months that they start develop the concept of object permanence, which is whatever is not visible to them also exists. That is what they meant. Okay, so object permanence is a phenomena which states that the child is able to make sense that the things do exist even if it is not in front of their sight. So these are some of the things that we need to keep in mind when it comes to sensory motor stage. Next, we'll move to the second stage, which is pre-operational stage. This stage starts until the age of 7 years. The most prominent part of this particular stage is symbolic play. Alright, and this symbolic play has three major things that we can note down: decentration, decontextualization, and integration. We can see one by one what is decentration. Decentration is when the child makes the other person the recipient of everything. Say for example, here now the child, when they are starting to play, they are not giving importance to themselves, but they are making somebody else the recipient of whatever they are doing. Say for example, they'll take a doll, they'll feed it, they'll try to change the dress, they'll try to take them for a walk, for a bath and all. What they are doing here is they are using the phenomena of decentration. That is, they are not trying to keep themselves as the center of the play, but then they are giving that particular role to somebody else. So somebody else is going to be the recipient of the play. Second one is decontextualization. Decontextualization here means that they are going to use alternative objects instead of the real objects. Say for example, a child will now pick up a banana and then act as if that banana is a telephone. They will take a box and then they'll pretend as if it's a frog. So this is what we call as decontextualization. And the third one is integration. Integration is nothing but addition of a lot of complex plays that happens. So these three things, that is decentration, decontextualization, and integration, shows that how complex it is, how complex the cognitive capabilities of the children are changing from time to time. Now let's move on to the third stage. But before proceeding to that, we have to check what are the things that they lack in pre-operational stage. Some of the things that the children are not able to inculcate during this stage is they will not have an understanding of relational terms. That is, they will lack the understanding of words which are very similar, like right and left, dark and night, day, night. Similarly, they will not understand the concept of conservation. That is, if there is any changes in the physical attributes of any object, maybe the things that are inside will remain unchanged. So conservation is nothing but the knowledge that certain physical attributes of an object remain unchanged even though the outward appearance of the subject is altered. So if we are keeping a water in a tub and in a glass and the amount of water is same, the child will not be able to understand that the amount of water is same. What the child will assume is the water which is present in the tub is more in comparison to what is present in the glass because of the size. So this is something that the children will not able to understand until pre-operational stage. Next one is seriation. That is the ability to arrange objects in order along some dimension. That is, if you're giving something a pieces of block and then you're asking them to arrange it in a sequence, a child of that particular age will not be able to do that, and that is why we say that during pre-operational stage the child will lack seriation. The last one is egocentrism. This is the child's inability to understand that others may perceive the world differently than they do. A good example of this can be if you are keeping a number 6 in front of two children, the first one will see the number as 9, the other will see it as 6. But then they won't be able to reciprocate the understanding that both of them are seeing different numbers, and that is what we call egocentrism. They will not be able to understand the fact that people do perceive the world differently. This is what we call as egocentrism, which will be lack in children of that age. Now let us move to the next one, which is concrete operational stage. According to Piaget, when a child have started to master conservation, seriation, egocentrism and all, this marks the beginning of third stage, which we call as concrete operational stage. During this stage, the child has now started to understand world better. They are able to now understand that, okay, people do perceive the world in a different way. Then they will understand how do they order a lot of things. They will understand the concept of seriation. They will understand what is conservation. And then also this is the stage where they will understand what is logical thought. So when you are asking a children of that particular age, which is the age of 11, that why have you gone to a store with your mother, you will get a logical reply. But before that age, if you are asking to a child, why did you go to the store with your mother, maybe you will not get a logical reply. That is what we say. It is concrete operational stage, which marks the beginning of logical thoughts. The last one is formal operation stage. This is the final stage of Piaget's stages of cognitive development, which is formal operational stage, and this is the time when the child is able to understand more abstract concepts. Earlier till then, the child is able to understand anything which is concrete, like whatever they touch, they feel, they can learn. But then they were not able to understand things in an abstract manner. So it is in the stage of formal operation stage that they understand even abstract concepts also. So even if something which does not exist and they just have to imagine, this is in this stage that they will be able to understand. It is in this stage that they understand even hypothetical concepts. They come up with a different kind of hypothesis and then they do explain about things. They are no longer bound to observable and physical events. That is, it's not limited to only observable and physical events. It's not important that they have to observe or feel those things, but even if it's not existing, they do understand it. They can approach and solve problems systematically by formulating hypotheses and methodologically testing them out. So it is in this, since they have now understood the concept of how, even if things which does not exist, they start formulating hypotheses and then they try to test them out. According to Piaget theory of cognitive development, children can now apply their reasoning to a variety of situations, which includes if-then situations. That is, it is during this stage that they start coming up with if and then situations. They for example, if dogs were reptiles, they would have cold blood. They can accept this as valid reasoning even though the premise is obviously false. So if then situations, logical reasonings and all, everything comes during formal operational stage. That's all for today. Thank you.